Big time wrestling. 60 minutes of the very best in Major League Professional Wrestling action. Well, you're going to see a war tonight. You're going to see a comeback. You're going to see a comeback, a return to wrestling action. Let's call it. The man hasn't been away that long. I think one of the greatest wrestlers ever to come out of the Pacific Northwest, and he did that indeed, and now makes his home here. Talking about Stan the Man, Stasiak. We got a lot of news for you, a lot of things to talk about, and there are a lot of things going to happen. So don't you dare go away. Frank Bottomley here saying, Sept. We'll be right back. Some of the crowd on hand here at the sports arena as we get ready for one of the, well, we've been having pretty hot shows. I was going to say one of the hottest shows we've had in quite some time, and it will be that.
At 260 pounds from New York, Stan Stasiak.
Barry Owen, youngest son of Don Owen. Don taking the night off, and most ring announcers get in the ring, take a little breath, look around. Barry wants to get it over with, man. At the time his second foot hits that mat, he is talking. So you didn't hear much of the introduction, so I'll fill you in. To the left of your screen, Mike Miller from Tennessee, and right there, a man who once was offered a tryout in hockey, if you can believe it, a man his size, and I believe it was with the Canucks, the Montreal Canadiens, but I'm not sure. It might have been the Rangers. He was a big Ranger fan for many years. He was originally from Canada, then made his home in New York as he ruled as the king of Madison Square Garden for some 10 years. For 3 or 4 of those years as Worldwide Wrestling Federation champion. Stan got out of the business about 5 months ago. Went to work in a sporting goods store, and a lot of people came up and said, "Why did you leave? We didn't like the tactics and the attitude that you had when you left." But for many, many years, you were one of the most favorite wrestlers in the country, not only in the Northwest. And he said he had not realized how many people missed his action in the ring. So he said, "I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back with a new attitude. Give it all I've got." The man's in wrestling's history book in many, many episodes. Stan Stasiak, the Crusher, is what he was called when he started out. And he made his first big name for himself here in the Northwest. And went on to become one of the leading wrestlers in the world. One time held the record for the largest indoor crowd drawn. Filled Madison Square Garden many times. And all that means nothing to Mike Miller, except Miller could make quite an impression by beating a man with these credentials and thwarting his comeback. Luke Brown is the referee, third man in the ring from Elkton, Maryland. Known as Big Boy Brown when he wrestled. Things coming up on the 29th. Ric Flair defending his heavyweight title at Seattle Center Arena, and chosen to get a shot at that title, Buddy Rose. Rose making his home in Washington as he continues to try to rule both coasts, the East and the West. Rose is doing well back east. Recently, very close to defeating Bob Backlund, WWF title holder. Could be. I cannot remember if since Dutch Savage revived wrestling in the Evergreen State and has been putting on cards at Seattle Center Arena, if we've ever had a complete sellout there. There could be one. There could be two coming up in the next few weeks when the World Champion's there, and then later on, Roddy Piper. Incidentally, on that card, the 29th, Hank Sawyer will be teaming with his brother Buzz Sawyer. You might have seen Buzz. His elevator doesn't stop at all the floors, if you've seen what I mean. Setting him up for the hard punch. Stan the Man used that. Devastating blow many, many times, and Mike Miller's heard about it. A hard punch puts him away. I'll tell you, wrestling in the next 3 weeks or so might be the most important, the most exciting period of wrestling, 2 or 3 week period of wrestling. In fact, I will state that it will be, than we have ever experienced in the Northwest. And I've been promising to try to get up to Seattle and see one of the cards up there and meet some of you people face to face. Well, it might be just the time to do it. If I can get me a ticket, come up and howdy and shake. Mike Miller. And if he thought he had the old man in there, he guessed wrong. Stan the Man never, always did stay in shape. A lot of hockey players, we said, had a chance of a tryout with a couple pro hockey teams, I think. The more I think about it, I think both the Rangers and Canadians offered him tryouts. But he was making too much money at wrestling. Reverse armbar, and the crowd will pick up the count. Well, they would have. Miller got his shot. He was pump handling. Right cross. But a man who many say was the hardest puncher ever to climb in the wrestling ring. Miller wants to complain that he's being hit by a fist. Luke Brown says, with what you've been pulling and what I've seen you pull before, I'm not going to worry about that. Miller grimacing and being taken down to the mat. Now back up and a kick to the midsection on Stasiak. Knee to the ribs. Now remember that we are coming into Seattle 2 weeks in a row. You might say, well, the 29th there, we just had a show a week before that. That's right. We are coming in 2 Wednesdays in a row. There was conflict. I believe it all goes back to that old computer again that caused a conflict in dates, but the 29th is the proper date, and it will be the second week in a row. We are in Seattle at the Seattle Center Arena, Fidelity Lane ticket office, where you get your ducats, make your reservations. Mike Miller going against Stan the Man, and we've got a war. The Assassin and Sawyer. Coming up in our main event. This is the semi-main. A comeback or maybe not the comeback of Stan the Man. Stan was setting up, I think, to throw the hard punch at him without setting up the left arm that he tries to raise. He's going to catch him coming off the rope. Oh, he missed. There it is, setting it up. Pow! Stan the Man is back. Stan the Man Stasiak hath returned. And Mike Miller knows it better than anybody.
8 minutes and 36 seconds.
Delivering the hard punch to beat Mike Miller. We shall return with a lot more action, news, interviews. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this big time break.